So I went to the ARA, the American Rental Association show this past week. That is the expo that has all the manufacturers there, and you get to see everything. And then there's also training and classes and things like that for ARA members. And it was a good time. I did not take a lot of video because I was actually uncomfortable. Justin from Party Rental Knowledge, he was more out there. He actually filmed himself talking to people, and I'm going to use a bunch of his clips. But I just want to share with you my takeaways from the show. The first takeaway is everyone thought I was going to be a lot larger. I guess my face looks a little fatter, and sometimes I don't like clean up and it's like big or whatever. Everyone was surprised that I'm actually skinny. And people told that to other people too, and they told me that's what people said, but people also said that to me as well. So that's my first takeaway. I'm not fat, guys. I guess I got a chubbier face or whatever. And now I'm gonna put video over me talking about the rest. One of the main things everyone was talking about is employee issues, not having enough employees. And we all knew that. I've been pretty lucky by having friends and friends of friends and so on and so on and so on down the line. Pretty good, except for like when kids go back to high school or college. But that is a major issue, and that has affected how everyone is running their business. They're either saying no to more jobs or trying to focus more in on the core business and not trying to do a whole bunch of more fancy stuff. Which leads me into the second thing of companies saying no to more jobs and focusing on the core stuff that makes them money. And what they are finding is with less employees and focusing on the stuff that weekly generates money, they're actually making more profit. Back in the day, it just used to be growth. Let's buy this new thing. It's only going to go out once a month. Let's buy this fancy set of gold flatware, or all these fancy chairs, or all these different kinds of farm tables, or whatever it is. It was about growth because you could handle it at the time when you had a lot of employees and there was a lot of demand and parties were happening everywhere. Now that the employee count is low, you can't be doing all that. So they're just focusing on, the core. And it turns out focusing on the core is making them more profit, not necessarily more money, but more profit, which is arguably better. So I was already starting to do that. It's not something I thought about because of employee issues or anything. I just got sick of all these fancier things just sitting around, or when they go out, them just being annoying. So I started focusing on my core business: tents, tables, chairs, dance floor. Just the basic chairs. Nothing like shibari or crossback or whatever. So a lot of conversations with a lot of owners, some of them very large companies, who just because of circumstances are focusing on the core and discovered that that is where the profit is. If you didn't already know that, now you do, or now they do. There's one guy, he's a bounce house guy, but he, at the height of when everything was busy before COVID, he had 72 employees. Now he has 7, and they're pulling in more profit than when he had 72. Also, a lot of these guys have raised prices in response to the prices of buying things and labor going up on them. And they have found that people are not saying no. They're still saying yes. So paired with, you have less guys, which is less operating expense. You're focusing on your core stuff, which is generally easier to maintain than a lot of the fancier stuff, and raising prices. Profits have gone up. So you don't have to really bust your ass every single week with 50 to 100 guys in your company when you could be making more profit with 7. It's interesting. And I can kind of see a lot of people are going to continue just to stay that way. There'll be some companies who continue to do the specialty stuff and they'll charge a super premium for it. But a lot of companies are just going to take a good hard look at what actually makes them money on a consistent basis and what they should focus on, and then continue to do that and get out of the other stuff that they were trying to do just to get growth. Paired with this, manufacturers used to bring like their fanciest stuff to all these shows to like show off and, you know, try to get you to buy like the craziest new tent with powder coated legs and all these new designs and everything. But this year, every single manufacturer brought their basic stuff, bare bones, like this is just what you need in this business. Yes, some of the like the chair people brought fancy chairs, but the tent people, nothing fancy. There was one really fancy tent. It was black and clear. It was cool, but it wasn't like extravagant. Where in past years, there was extravagant tents that were built just for the show to display what they can do. There was a lot of people selling or, you know, showing their things that make work easier, like jackhammers and carts and cleaning supplies and, you know, just your everyday items, everyday chairs, everyday tents, nothing crazy. So the manufacturers know and understand too that that's what people need right now. We don't need the next best product, the next best rental item. We just need to continue renting what we rent every single day and continue making that money. So all in all, it was a cool show. I got to meet a lot of people, got to hang out with a bunch of people and talk to them and meet them for the first time. Yeah, guys, I'm not fat, even though I may look like it sometimes. I'm a kind of an unkempt person. I don't really take care of my facial hair that much or whatever. But anyways, yeah, so it was smaller than in previous years, but that was going to be a given. You know, when I first went, it took 2 days to get through the whole thing. This time, it was a few hours. You got through all the booths, really saw everything you wanted to see. But that'll go back to normal later. You know, as time progresses, it'll get big again. I'm probably not going to go to next year's. I don't think you got to go every single year. Why should you go to the show? Well, I heard someone say that the show used to be you go there to find out things that you didn't know you could rent. And that was true. My first year I went there, I was like, wow, this exists and that, and this company exists. Just companies you didn't know existed in our space. Then you can start getting quotes from or buying these things. There was one thing there that I didn't know you could rent. There's these like light tower things. They're really cool. I think I'll make a separate video on those. But that's one of the reasons to go. Another reason is if you're newer, you can get all like this training. Another reason is to meet people that might be in your area, or just might be able to be mentors to you or give you ideas or whatever. Yeah, you just get to see new products or new companies that sell the same products that you might be able to get cheaper, or they might be better quality or whatever. You get to meet your reps in person. You get to meet people. At night, you could go get drunk and have fun. So I highly suggest to go to an ARA show, but I don't think you need to go every year, because not every year does something change drastically that you got to see it. That was my ARA show this year. It was fun. I'll be uploading some videos that Justin took, because he's not as shy as I am. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching.